from our video the other day when we were talking about Tribe should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame before M. I went in the comment section, man, and people were going crazy over that, man. Like, this is what happens, man. Whenever we start telling the truth about M or whatever, or giving our opinion or giving our truth when it comes to that, we get a whole bunch of people who normally don't subscribe to our channel to come in and they just, I mean, they're stands. It's the only thing I can call them. Let me read some of these comments, man. Do you mind if I go through some of this? It should be fun. It'll be fun. And tell me if you agree. The people out there, tell me if you agree with some of the stuff that they're saying.
These people are the worst.
One person says, only people mad are the ones who failed in life doing what they love. Nobody deserves to get in before anybody. Y'all can't give me 5 reasons why Nas or a Tribe Called Quest, and they said TCQ. It's a Tribe Called Quest, nigga, not Tribe Called Quest. Like a pimp named Slickback. Anyway.
Stop calling him a nigga.
Y'all can't give me 5 reasons why Nas or a Tribe Called Quest needs to be before. Really? All right. Here's another one. Bruce Leroy said, I swear, Eminem is the only white person in the entertainment industry that experiences racism. What?
Can we pause?
You want to pause there?
No, I mean, I want you to feel comfortable doing what it is that you need to do, Mike. Go ahead.
Another person says, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame isn't about black culture. It's about global impact overall. Black culture impacts. Never mind. And then this person says, and Jay-Z was qualified? You know it's because he's white. I want to stop there.
Go ahead.
We say a lot about Jay-Z, and a lot of the stuff that we say is honestly in jest and in comparison to people like Nas, Biggie, and sometimes Tupac. But Jay-Z made Reasonable Doubt. Jay-Z made The Blueprint. Jay-Z made the Black Album. Jay-Z's run in the mid-90s to the early 2000s started a whole wave. He kept... I can't believe I'm even having to break this down. Why do people think Jay-Z is where he is now? By chance? He put in the work. And you still hear his material. And if you don't hear Jay-Z's material wherever you're at, and you don't hear You Don't Know or PSA, you're probably not a hip-hop fan. And you're probably not listening to hip-hop music outside the confines of your Eminem playlist on your headphones.
Did whoever say that understand? I think everybody knows who I think the greatest MC of all time is. But if you were to ask me who the most influential was, the first 2 names that would come out of my mouth in this order would be this: Tupac, Jay-Z.
Well, I mean, when you talk about influence, man, and you talk about the fact that he made people on a massive level put on throwbacks. He made people take them off and put on button-ups. There was a period where every MC on the East Coast, on a mainstream level, was trying to be Jay-Z.
I don't think people understand. It's just that, like, there was like a 3-year period where everybody on the East Coast, except for Nas, wanted to be Jay.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Like,
hold on. Ray and Ghost are talking about it on Bulletproof Wallets. What Ray say? Turn on the radio, all you hear is X and Jigga. Jay had affected things to the point that members of the Wu-Tang were saying something. I want people to understand something. From the time Wu-Tang walked in the door, pretty much till about like 1999, they pretty much walked around and did what they wanted. So the fact that Jay
is being questioned
to the point of saying something. Hold on 1 second, Mike.
The validity of Jay-Z. Let me go back and get to some of these other comments that I wanted to read too while Coop's gone. Another person says the greatest rapper of all time just got inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. What's the big deal? Did you hear that?
My bad.
No, you're good.
Sorry. No, my daughter's got a fashion show tomorrow. She's like, I want to practice the walk. Can I practice the walk? I'm like,
Oh
go ahead and
no,
practice the walk.
do your thing. You got to do what you got to do. This person says the greatest rapper of all time just got inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. What's the big deal? Okay,
That's the big deal.
These
I
are
just gave a diatribe about how the guy who is not the greatest MC of all time might be the most influential MC of all time, and I named Nas, Rakim, and Jay-Z in the middle of that diatribe, and it was centered around Jay-Z, but nowhere in that conversation does Eminem belong in that conversation. That's what the people who make these comments need to understand. And this is what I mean about inviting him to the barbecue and putting him to the forefront. It's like, well, he got invited because he deserved to be invited, because skill-wise, he deserves to be in this room, okay? If you don't think Eminem is a dope MC, I can't totally respect you, because that's not what this is about. If you want to get into his song making, if you want to get into his album making, if you want to give into the white privilege that's been afforded to him, oh, I can't defend that. But the skills are there. But here's what he is not. He is not the caliber of MC that deserves to be walked up to the line and sat next to Rakim, and Biggie, and Jay-Z, and Nas.
And he doesn't have the catalog to justify that either.
The only thing that he has that's reflective of that is a lyrical skill level. Not even a totality of skill level, but a lyrical skill level, and sometimes storytelling skill level.
You just went on a diatribe about Method Man in that period, in that run that he had on features. Eminem doesn't even have that.
No.
Meth has that in spades. So, okay. And so somebody responded and was like, LOL, Eminem being the greatest rapper of all time is comedy. This person doubled down and said, I know, man, it's funny to me too, especially because so many people are mad about it, and it's even funnier that so many people are in denial about it. Cracks me up. We're in denial that Eminem's the greatest rapper of all time, apparently. Another super chat here. Dead Wrench says, people really are trying to rewrite history. I hate it. Yeah.
They are.
And we're trying to write it as it's going so that doesn't happen.
And that's why we have to document it a certain way, because it's been framed in a previous generation that, and this is what I mean about inviting him to the barbecue and why it was problematic. It's like, we didn't just invite him. We invited him and we put him in the VIP line, and then we walked him up to the front. And
put him in the chair. Put him in the king's seat, the throne.
Did we do that for J. Rue the Damager, OC, Big L, Big Pun? Like I'm just thinking of guys that have come along that are lyrically inclined, like him. Pharaoh Monch, Organized Confusion. Did Talib and Most get walked up like that? Did Thought and the Roots get walked up like that? Mike, did the Q-Tip and the Tribe Called Quest get walked up like that when they came in the door?
You got to have the records to prove it.
Nas gave one of the greatest lyrical verses in history, and it took him another year to get a record deal.
Yeah.
It took him he got a record deal after he did Live at the Barbecue, Halftime, and Back at the Grill Again. It took 2 verses and a full solo song from Nas.
Yeah. All-time great shit. Okay.
Jay had to release In My Lifetime Volume 1 independently in 94. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where is his dues been paid that he did that to earn that? I watched those dudes earn it. I heard Snoop Dogg on Deep Cover go the fuck off and then snap on the Chronic before he got his shot and then made Doggy Style. He did Deep Cover, the Chronic, and Doggy Style. He deserved everything he get.
Out the gate, How My Name Is was on TRL. MTV was playing it 24/7.
Deep Cover.
Yeah.
That ain't Deep Cover.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
Okay, another person says, great for hip-hop. Eminem expands the genre. At the moment, no one is close to his pen game. Lyrically, the way he bends words, internal and external rhyme cadences, visual bars is outstanding. He has loves hip-hop, but this podcast always has a race issue regarding Eminem. Like saying basketball is a black sport, but you don't hear anything about we own this or we chose who the GOATs. It's a very sad state of affairs. So it is a very sad state of affairs. Well, first of all, no one's saying that basketball is a black sport. Black athletes just kick everybody's ass in it.
No, black athletes just dominate. Hold on. Black athletes dominate the populace and thereby are going to dominate the victories, much like the white populace dominates America, thereby dominates the economics and financial decisions being made.
Correct. Um, Now, as far as like his external, internal rhymes and all that stuff, like, what do you think about that? And the fact that he said lyrically, he's talking about at the moment, no one is close to his pen game. Lyrically, the way he bends words, internal and external rhymes, cadences, visual bars is outstanding. What do you think about that? As a person that's, very analytical about your lyricism, like, what do you think about that jargon? Is that legit?
I think he needs to go listen to Method Man's album because everything that he's talking about, Method Man just did better than Eminem. Literally everything that he's talking about, Method Man just did better today. Okay. That's my problem with it, is because you got guys like, and I'm going to say this tongue in cheek. Meth and Jay are very comparable in what makes them great lyricists, which is the tongue in cheek literary devices and flippage and multiple usage of the literary devices. Eminem is not in Method Man and Jay-Z's realm when it comes to that. Now, he knows how to flip words the way that they do, but when we are talking about literary devices versus flipping words, well, that's the difference between the jab connecting and the jab not connecting, okay? And so a jab connecting consistently is why Muhammad Ali is the greatest fighter of all time. You feel what I'm saying? And It's like, your jab don't connect consistently. Like, Jay throws that jab, Leroy, no. That's why I keep Jay in my top 5, because when Jay throws his jab, it lands. When Meth throws his jab, it lands. That's how you win fights. When you throw jabs and you don't land, you don't win. He throws a lot of jabs that don't land. You can duck those and dodge those. You can move that. No. Meth and Jay got Ali type jabs. It's long, it's hard, and it's faster than you think. And when it keeps hitting you, it affects you over the course of time. Like, you see how Meth keep hitting you with those literary devices and keep hitting you with those bars. They start doing something to you like, man, this guy's fucking amazing.
Right, you're trying to catch up.
Over and over, because he keeps doing it over and over again. It's just like when Ali's hitting you with. It does something to you when it keep happening. M's jabs don't be landing those jabs. He does not land those jabs like Meth or like Jay. And I use Meth and Jay because I tend, and I'm saying this respectfully, lyrically speaking, I tend to think of Jay and Meth on the high end of the low end, as in I don't think they're Rakim, Thought, or Nas, or Jizza, but I still consider them to be elite enough that they could smoke those guys on a track because of what they bring to the table with their literary devices. I don't feel that way about him.
King Hayes says, did y'all get my email and the link of Galvin's music and when you going to check for her music? Yeah, we got the email. We might need to put that on deck for Wednesday. Deathrich says, if M's music disappeared, hip-hop wouldn't change. I've said that before, and I agree 100%. If his whole catalog goes away, what changes?
To be more specific, you actually said that this past week. You actually said that when we were talking about.
I say a lot of shit, but yeah. Sounds like
I'm gonna remember this. I'm gonna remember the stuff that you say. I see Jarv just jumped in. That's right. I said HOF is on the high end of the low end lyrically, but I said I mean that respectfully. Is that I don't think that he's Rakim or Nas or Thought or Jizza lyrically or Lupe. Like, he's not that lyrically. Neither is Meth. Neither is Ray.
But they make up for it in other ways.
No, he does. Like, delivery wise, flow wise.
Yeah.
Like, there are other ways to make up for it.
Rigorol says, I want to thank you for helping me reach the understanding. This album is super cryable, amazing. It's another one that I'm missing here. Oh yeah, Ray Rims.
Black Star album.
Yeah. Yeah,
me and Rigorol was actually talking on. Me and Rigorol be talking on the inbox on Twitter, and we were just speaking about the whole Most thing and about how people aren't really catching what Most is doing because they're too stuck on wanting Most to be old Most. Because Almost is somebody that when you hear him, it's like, oh, that might be the best rapper alive. It's
Yeah.
like he doesn't give a shit about being the best rapper alive. He is concerned with the message. Be locked into who the man is now, not who he used to be.
It's tough to come to grips with. Ray
It
Realm
is.
says, I've been waiting to ask you brothers for weeks. Do you think Marshall would disagree with you on his ranking in rap? Remember his rebuttal to Snoop. We were we talking about the Snoop thing? And Snoop said something
That's where you
similar.
said what you said. That's where you made your comments. We
Yeah,
were talking about the Snoop thing.
Snoop said, I can live without it. And I mean, obviously, you want to be protective of your music and and what you made and your creative process. But as a hip hop fan that Eminem is, and if he looks in the lexicon of everything he's been influenced by hip hop wise, I think he can understand where a person's coming from when they say that.
Okay, I want to address this high end of the low end thing because Jarvis up in here, and the people that are with Jar are saying
Shout out to
something
Jar
about
from Rap Roundtable.
No, this is what I'm saying. If you were to ask me to pick like 15 elite lyricists, Jay would be one of the 15 people that I would invite into that room, but he would probably be one of the last 5 people that I invite into that room. But I still think he deserves to be in that room. I'm really not trying to be shady about it. Like, how about this?
I think I disagree with you on that one too.
Hold on. Listen to 3 people I'm about to give you. I got Biggie, Jay, and Meth kind of in that same room. I just got Big a slight step ahead of Meth and Jay. Like, it would be like a guy is 9, a guy is 10, a guy is 11 or 12. You feel what I'm saying? I'm just saying high end. When I'm saying high end, like Mike, there's a top 10 pick and then there's a top 20 pick. That's all I'm saying. And I'm saying that he would be closer to being a top 10 to 15 pick than being like the number 1 guy off the board. It's like if I'm taking lyricists. It's like, no, I'm not taking Jay off the board before thought.
If lyricism, help me understand this part. If lyricism is scoring,
Pac is there too. Pac is actually behind these guys with what I am saying when I say this. You understand? I don't even have Pac. I have Jay, Big, and Meth ahead of Pac in that. Cool. But don't nobody talk about say I'm being shady with Pac.
If lyricism is scoring, who are you comparing Jay to in this draft? If you're drafting, let's say we're doing like a draft projection. Who's first pick, first 15? If lyricism is scoring, who is Jay in this draft?
Ooh, are we going all time? Okay.
Let's go all time, sure.
Okay, so let's look at some like all time. Okay. Ooh.
Because you're kind of putting him at James Worthy status, it sounds like.
No, I have him higher than that. I was actually thinking more, okay, so if I was thinking about lyricism like scoring, so the best scorers of the basketball that I've seen, pure scorers, I mean, Mike, of course.
Right.
Mike, Kobe, Durant, I think that's pretty easy, right? Like when we think of scoring, we think of those 3 guys in modern times, I think, in terms of the ease which they score the ball at a high level, right?
Right.
Those 3 guys, I would think.
AI, too.
I was going AI's right there. I would think he would be somebody, he'd be like McGrady to me. That's what I mean.
Kobe, baby. Tracy McGrady. Matter of fact, you're a Harold Miner.
No, Tracy McGrady is one of the all-time great scorers. I consider him to be one of the greatest scorers of the basketball that I've ever seen. But do I think that he is the scorer that Kobe or Durant is? It's not quite, but close. And I've told people this all the time.
Jay would disagree with that.
Huh?
Jay would definitely disagree with that.
Well, you're talking as a scorer, though. How about this? If we're going historically speaking as a scorer,
no, McGrady was the truth.
Huh?
McGrady was the truth.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, well, how about this? Would you feel? I'll go to my favorite personal player growing up in terms of scoring. Dominique Wilkins is how I would kind of look at Jay as a scorer.
Okay.
I don't think that Dominique is the scorer that Durant or Kobe or Mike is, but did he win a scoring title? Yeah. Can he go get buckets with anybody? Yeah. Can he bust Larry Bird ass and Mike ass on any given night? It's like, and that's what I mean. It's like, no, I'm not being disrespectful. He's just more as a lyricist to me. He's just more like Dominique or McGrady or Carmelo and not Durant, Kobe, or Mike. I don't think that's disrespectful.
Man Nan says, what did you guys rate the Meth album? We rated a 4.25.
Good.
Andre Shashir says, Jay got to be 5, definitely no less than 10.
How about this?
And that's
Okay,
from
so
Andre.
let's go lyrically
George says
exactly.
that Jay is Kobe.
No, he's not Kobe.
Brian with the super chat says,
Rock would be Mike and Nas would be Kobe. And Black Thought, like, you know how I've always looked at it. Here's my holy trinity. I looked at it in actually religious sense. It's like Rakim is the Father, Nas is the Son, and Black Thought is the Holy Ghost. That's my trinity of MCs lyrically. After that, yeah, the Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost. Yeah. Rakim, Nas, Black Thought, Father, Son, Holy Ghost. After that, it's like Jizza, Lupe, KRS-One, Cool G Rap. And then after that, we can have the Big and Meth and Jay conversation.
You got KRS and Lupe over Jay lyrically?
Yes.
Okay.
And if you don't, show me why. That's what I'm saying. Is like, stop making it seem like I'm talking out of turn when I'm saying I got this guy between 8 to 12 lyrically, but delivery wise, I have him top 5. Everywhere else, I have him top 5 except for lyrically, and it's like, oh, you're being disrespectful. No, I got him top 5 everywhere else except for stories and lyrics. And
Lupe has B-roll.
Stories, lyrics, and voice are the only things that he's not like top 5 to me at. Everything else he's top 5 at. Delivery, 5. Cadence, top 5. Flow, song, catalog, MC ability, totality of MC. Everything else he's top 5. He's not a top 5 lyricist. He's not. And if you think that he's better than Rakim, Nas, Black Thought, Jizza, and Lupe lyrically, I would ask you, what the fuck have you been listening to?
Brian with us says, with the super chat, it says, if you weren't up in arms about Jay getting in ahead of the line, then it's a little hypocritical. Jay got in before Nas. Remember, this is the Hall of Fame, and fame is the most important part. All right, listen. And I kept seeing that. My thing is, that's why LL was put in there, because he was on the ballot. They weren't about to put Jay-Z in there and LL didn't make it. So yes, if Jay-Z and LL were on the ballot, and let's just say Nas was on the ballot too, and Jay got in and these two guys didn't get in, yes, I would have had a problem with that. I wrote an article about the fact that Tupac got in there before LL Cool J. My problem is the fact that Tribe was on the ballot. We're not talking about people who ain't on the ballot. So what you're talking about never happened. You know what I'm saying? These people were on the actual ballot, and I heard somebody also talking about, did you vote? The voting process is like 0.1% of the process. They make the decision over there.
So listen, this is what I'm saying about how the Jay stuff like sometimes gets taken out of context by his followers. Here's something that I'll tell you. The way people argue, and this is exactly how I feel about it, it's like, you don't see me arguing for Nas for top 5 deliveries. Y'all need to stop arguing for Jay for top 5 lyricism. Like, y'all know. Like, you know he's not more of a pure lyricist than Cool G Rap or KRS-One or Thought or Rakim or Lupe. That's what I mean about how it's unrealistic.
What
like
is Nas, it, those gnarly dudes, I puff out Marley dudes? Is it those lines?
It's not even that. He's just not, he, because of how he speaks, because of the profession that he chose, he's just not inclined to talk that way about those things. He doesn't do that. It's nothing wrong with it. Biggie doesn't do it either. Pac doesn't do it either. Do you understand that 3 of my top 5 MCs, I don't even have in like my top like 10 lyrically damn near. You understand that? Like, I got Pac, Big, and Jay in my top 5 all time, and not in my top 10 lyrically, really. Being a great lyricist does not afford you the opportunity to be an all-time great MC. The only top-tier lyricists that are in my top 5 are Nas and Rakim.
Deadridge says Jay is like the 6th man.
Big and Jay and Pop are ahead. Like, Cool G Rap's a better lyricist than Jay. But that's it. That's it. That's where Cool G Rap's better than Jay. He's a better lyricist. KRS-One is a better lyricist and has a better voice. That's it.
Damian Jones says, Coop, stop. Jay is on the Mount Rushmore of lyricists.
No, he's not. He's not even better than... How about this? Right now, do you think... listen to what I'm about to say.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to the guys, because we've all heard these guys recently. Y'all think he can walk into a cypher with Lupe, Thought, and Nas right now and come off? You better stop that. Those guys are active and rapping at a supreme level that we have not heard from him in a long time. And even when he was at a supreme level, that lyrical shit wasn't his thing. His thing was the literary device. And that's why I argue with Leroy and Unc about that, because that was his thing, the double entendre, the devices. Thinking back when we first learned to use rubbers, he didn't learn, so in return, I'm kidnapping his baby's mother. No, that's where he's strong. He's not strong at that follow the leader shit. That's not his thing. You know that. Stop acting like that's his thing too. That's what I'm saying. See how they try to frame it for him? It's like, no, he's that too. No, he's not. He was never that. The closest thing we got to that is like Dead Presidents and 44 fours.
44 fours is crazy.
That's where he operates like that. It's like he doesn't do that the way those other guys do. Lupe raps like that all the fucking time.
He does.
I gotta give it up to him. Like even over Nas, like lyrically, it's like if you wanted to say, well, Lupe's more of a lyricist than Nas, people be like, well, you're probably right. He's not.
Lupe's one of those guys when you hear, like I said, when I heard Mural for the first time, I was like, man, I can't really. My favorite rappers can't outperform this lyrically.
Yeah, my favorite rappers can't rap like this. Yeah,
right. It is.
But that don't matter, right?
A couple of more comments I wanted to get to. You're salty as fuck. You're a part of today's. You're part of today's society's problem. M also put out 10 times the amount of music. So, they're talking about Trap. Trap.
I'm going to say this again. This is Wu-Tang Forever Day. I'm going to quote the Jizza on Wu-Tang Forever as high as Wu-Tang get. Too many songs, weak rhymes is mad long. Make it brief, son. Half short, twice strong. It don't matter how many fucking songs you do if it's not fucking with the shit that already got made by Tribe. And for however many albums or much more material that he has, he still has yet to touch their catalog.
Yeah, no award tours there. All right, and this other person said, just because you don't like the song doesn't mean it's not a classic. I don't even listen to My Name Is and The Real Slim Shady like that, but they're undeniable classics in my opinion. What kind of opinion do you have when you say you don't even listen to these songs and you say that they're classics undeniably? What does that even mean? What do they actually mean to hip-hop? I mean, really, are we just going to sit here and call something because we're supposed to call it that? You just admitted yourself that I don't listen to these songs like that, but they're classic in my opinion. What?
No. See, that's why we need to open that lane up for that third show to give people like this opportunity to be like, hey, you feel that way? Be like, well, why don't you come on live with us on Monday and debate with Coop about it, and we're going to go song for song.
And we're going to play the actual song.
We're going to play the songs, and then you get to explain to us like how this is a hip-hop classic, why, where they're playing it at, and then the audience will get to be able to also gauge, be like, well, who knows what they talking about? Are Mike and Coop right that this isn't a hip-hop classic, or is this person right that we're missing the mark? Because I'm going to tell you something that's going on that's extremely troubling for me. I'm watching, like, the dudes that are our age get trapped in this music movement where the stuff keeps fleeting fast. Like, I watched a lot of people call Pusha T's album classic and then say the Black Star album was just okay from our generation. And that lets me know it's like, oh, the younger generation got a hold of y'all, and we're supposed to be dictating the pace and showing them what this real classic hip-hop shit looks like. And so when these dudes are running around calling It's Almost Dry a classic, and there's been a lot of y'all doing it, it's like, no, it's not. And y'all have gotten addicted to what the kids are doing. This little move music that's going to go away. Like, from the moment that I heard Neck and Wrist, the classic talk was over. You understand that? Because there's nothing about that that's classic. And you got Push and Jay on a track and Pharrell producing it, and you didn't make a classic. That's how I knew the album wasn't about to be classic.
Like I told you, bro, I've been going back to Black Star all week. I have not gone back to Neck and Wrist since it dropped. And that's just the God honest truth. And I'm big fans of both of those guys.
You got Pusha T literally admitting that it took him doing Brambleton to get Kanye to give him Dreaming of the Past. Oh, Dreaming of the Past doesn't even belong to you. That was Ye's record. It's like, how is this a classic? How?
Yeah. Rigorol says Lupe still got Royce scared to pick up a mic. These are facts.
We ain't heard Royce pick up the mic since then. And quite frankly, I'm gonna say this again. I don't appreciate that nigga making me look bad. I went on this show live and said he was gonna fade Lupe.
And I said, yeah, no, he's in for the fight of his
You
life.
told me, no, you told me I think you're bugging, Coop. And I was like, no, nigga, you bugging. You like that, nigga. Lupe, you know I know Mickey facts, Coop. I was like, I know you know Mickey, nigga. I don't care. No, I care, Mike. I was wrong.
Yeah, those dudes rap, man. They can come up with shit in a matter of an hour. LP says rappers we consider to be the best now: Lupe, Ransom, JLA, Benny, all are doing the best 94, 96 Nas rendition. It's in the flow and the wordplay. Yeah, everybody's on the run. You forgot Conway. I think Conway's in there too.
My daughter just jumped in the chat and said facts.
That's what's up. Shout out to her in the chat. LP says, y'all ready to admit that Pusha is a 3.5?
No, it's a 4. Like, I want you to understand, Brambleton and Let the Smoker Shine the Coop is really carrying. And Diet Coke is still Diet Coke. Dreaming of the Past is a dope record. Malice on the finale, like, no, so there's stuff on there. It's very much like Hitler, whereas Hermes 8, where it's like the highlights are so high that it's hard to knock it low. You know, but there are, how about this? There's too many 3.5 songs on there, but it's still a 4.
The clock is ticking on Kendrick. I see that in the chat as well. Listen, this is another comment that I found very entertaining. He said, okay, but keep it going. Bad meets evil up against any A Tribe Called Quest classic album. Seems kind of wrong to put M up against a whole group, but this is what we're doing. I love you, Q-Tip and the gang, but bar for bar, M got this, buddy. And I'm not hating because I don't know you guys, but I do respect your points of view. So you think Bad Meets Evil is better than a Tribe album?
And I really love Bad Meets Evil. I do. I love
Bad Meets Evil. This has gotten out of hand, man. This has gotten out of hand.
Bad Meets Evil on a scale of where Tribe is, it's like where it would come in on Tribe's catalog is like, well, it might be better than like half of Beats, Rhymes, and Life. Like, it's not better than anything on the first 3 albums, and it's not better than half of Beats, Rhymes, and Life. Like, it's not better than Phony Rappers Get a Hold once again. You know what I'm saying?
You remember what happened when Black Star dropped their debut album? The Source ripped them and compared them to Tribe the whole time. I thought it was unfair. But that's how great Tribe's catalog and legacy is. You got Mos Def and Talib at the peak of their powers coming in the door, coming with a collaborative effort as a duo, and they get ripped to shreds in the Source magazines telling everybody they're not Tribe. That's what Tribe looks like. Just saying.
I mean, the Black Star album didn't deserve to get a 3.5. It deserved probably a 4 or a 4.5 for those of you who are big fans on it. But what it's not is a classic like this one that just dropped. Like, there's some other shit. Like they're thinking forward on this album. That's what I'm saying. Like, part of why I gave it 5 and we gave it the 5 is because, well, this is the first rap album I've heard since Pray for Paris where the artists are thinking forward about the sound of hip hop too. There's something forward about the album. There's something that's not now about it. There's something that says, I got next.
I got that too. You know, this is another comment that always comes up, and I guess might as well address it now. Someone said, I'm just here laughing at all these grown men crying about other grown men. This is the thing. We're here to preserve and document history. No one's crying. We're just talking about it in a way that it needs to be talked about. See, what happens is we don't talk about things, and like y'all said, people rewrite history right in front of your face. Yeah. But again, I know that's another deflecting tactic to sit there and act like, you know, we shouldn't have better things to we should have better things to do than talk about our, you know, how our culture is being basically how somebody like Tribe is being robbed.